Hello guys, welcome to another video of Linux tutorials. So in this video we're gonna talk about more on the Linux commands and using the command line in general. So I'm going to cover a high overview of the Linux commands like ls and other commands in Linux file system. So after we cover the basics like using ls, mv, cd and then many other simple commands, then we'll dive deeper into each command. We'll focus on each and every command, and we'll take more time, spend more time on every command, so that I give you a very in-depth look at the Linux kernel and all the possibilities of what you can do within the command line. So one of the commands we're gonna start covering today is a command that's called sudo command. In Linux command file system there's a command called sudo, and what it means super user do. I'll increase my font size so you can see. So sudo, it means super user do. So what it essentially allows you to do, it allows you to do things which you cannot do as a normal user on the Linux file system. There are certain programs which are meant for the administrator, which only he can run them. There are certain things which only the admin is able to do, and if you're not an admin user you cannot do it. It won't work. Like for example, there's a tool that's for hacking. It's called Wi-Fi, and let me just show you the importance of this sudo command. For example, I'll just run here Wi-Fi, run it. So it says here Wi-Fi must be run as root. So it actually means that if I am a normal user or if I'm a regular user, what it means is that if I'm a regular user I cannot run this tool. I can't run this tool. I need to run it with sudo. Okay, so if I run it with sudo, only then is when it will be able to work. So you can do super user do and then run a command like ls, for example. It tells me to enter my password. I enter my password and there you go. So that's how it works. It's sudo, it's for administrators. They are the only ones who are allowed to run this command. So guys, yes, that's the sudo commands. It means super user do. Yeah, sorry guys. So that's what it means. It means super user do. So that's a very important command when it comes to Linux operating system, because it allows you to run a command or a particular file system command as a super user. Another command we're gonna look at here is a command called nano. Well, nano in Linux or in Linux operating system is a tool that's used for editing texts and text files. For example, let me just cd into my public folder, and if I do ls, I have those things in there. And then so let me just create a file that's called it can be anything, file.txt, any kind of file. So what it happens is that it opens up this user interface where I'm able to type in, like I'm able to write or to edit text file. This is a text file. So yes guys, so as you can see there, I'm able to edit or I'm able to write to a file using this nano. It's basically used for writing text or for editing text and other files in the Linux operating system. So this one is a very important tool when it comes to editing text. You can write as many as you want, and then when you're done, what you do is you can just press Ctrl S, and notice that here it was said modified, but now it says wrote 4 lines. It actually means that it has written this empty line, this line, and this line. So that's what it has done. It has written these words to the file named called file.txt. So it's actually written, and then if you want to exit out of this nano editor, what you press is Ctrl and X, and you see. So as you can see, I'm out of the editor, and if I enter ls, you can see that this file has been written here. It's file.txt, And then last time I talked about a command called cat, which is used to display the contents of a file. So as you can see here, what I wrote into the file is right here. So it's been written to the file. So that's how this nano command actually works. So another important command is a command called mkdir. So what it means to make a directory. So mkdir is used to make a directory. You can make a directory. It basically means just a folder. You can make a regular folder on your file system, and you use a command called mkdir. And then the arguments that you pass in here, you just need to pass in the name of the folder you want to create. For example, right here I'm making a folder called ps, and if I press enter, and then if I can enter ls, it shows here, right here, that I have a folder called ps, the one I made up here. You see, it's right here. It's been written to the file system. So that's how this mkdir actually works. It basically allows you to create a folder. Yes, so you can create a folder with a command called mkdir. It actually means make directory. So they shortified it and made mkdir. So that's how it is, and that's what this command is. So another important command we're gonna look at is a command called cd. Well, cd, it actually means change directory. And then, so what do you do? For example, in any file system, or like in Windows file system, or in any operating system, you can change, or you can switch from one folder to the other just by clicking on the folder icons. For example, I can click on this folder here, and as you can see there, so just like that, I'm able to enter into that particular folder. So how will you do that within the command line? Well, if you're in the command line, you use this command. It's called cd, and then you'll be able to change into any directory, and then you need to enter the name of the directory. So in this case, I want to enter into the ps directory. If I press enter, as you can see, my prompt here has changed. The ps is now here. This shows that I'm now inside of my ps directory. So that's how the cd command works. You enter cd and then the name of the directory where you want to enter into. So that's how it actually works. And then I'm gonna cover another thing about the cd command, is that since I've entered in my ps directory, I can actually switch back into my public folder once again just by doing something simple, cd and then dot. So if I press enter, as you can see, I've moved from the ps command, I've moved from the ps folder, now I'm in my public folder. If I can enter ls again, as you can see, these are the files which I had and they're still there. So that's the cd command. I'm not gonna cover everything about the cd command, because essentially we want to cover as much as we can about these using basic commands, using just simple commands. We won't go deep in these videos, first of all, because I want to cover as much as possible about the Linux kernel, and then after that is when we'll dive deeper into each and every command. We'll take a deeper look about the ls command, how to use it, like essentially how to use it like very effectively. How would you know the size of files? We'll take a look at very in-depth. Okay, so for now we won't do that. For now we'll just focus on how to use each of these commands, because they are very important. Because you don't want to know specifically about an ls command and then that's the only thing you know, that won't be so important. But if you know ls command, cd command, you'll be able to use the command line. Essentially you'll be able to edit files, you'll be able to create files, you'll be able to create folders, you'll be able to do many things. So that's what we want to focus on in this video. So as you can see, cd, it will bring you into a directory, and then cd dot, it will bring you back one directory from where you are. So that's the cd and the cd dot. Yes, so that's a very important command that we have looked at right there. So another important command we're going to look at is a command called cp. So cp, it means copy. Copy, it means just copy. You can copy files, and you can also copy folders. For example, if you want to copy a file, you right click a folder, and then you enter somewhere where it says copy, right? You can copy a file, you can right click it and then press copy. Okay, so that's within the GUI, that's the graphical user interface. But in this case, we're not taking a look at a graphical user interface, we're looking at the command line. Essentially, we're just focusing on the command line. Okay, so how do you copy a file? Okay, so what you do is you write cp copy and then the name of the file. For example, let me try and copy file.txt. Notice it auto-completed for me right there. What I did, I entered file and then I pressed the key tab. The tab key is an auto-completing feature where it can auto-complete. It knows that when I enter file, there's nothing else in here that starts with a file but only this file. So it has auto-completed for me just by pressing tab key. So if I press cp and then the name of the file, which is file.txt, so it means I'm copying file.txt. Okay, so I've copied this file. Where do I want it to be copied into? Okay, so I want to copy this file into the ps directory. So the next thing will be the directory. You see, auto completion again, it knows that ps is this folder right here. So what it means here is that I'm copying this file.txt into a folder called ps. Okay, so that's what I'm actually doing here. Essentially, I'm copying this file into a folder known as ps. Okay, so if I press but first of all, let me do something. I want to enter into ps folder and then I want to enter ls. As you can see, there's nothing in here. All right, so I'll enter cd dot, I'll go back and then ls, and then I'll do again cp file.txt and then into the folder known as ps. So enter, and then if I go again into the ps directory, if I press ls, as you can see, the file is here. It wasn't here initially, but because we used the cp command and the name of the file and the folder where you want the file to be copied to, as you can see right here, that the file has officially been copied. Now it's in this folder, you see. So that's another very important command when it comes to the Linux kernel in general. That's a very important command. So it allows you to copy files into different directories or any directory at all. So I'll enter cd dot. Again, it means to change directory one or to go back one level in the file system. All right, so cd dot, I'm entering back. So another important command is a command that's called word count. Okay, it means it's actually wc. All right, so wc is a command that now allows you essentially to print new line word or counts for each line. Okay, so it allows you to count the number of lines in a file, or to know how many words are inside of a file. So let's enter into the ps folder and then ls here, and then if I do word count and then the name of the file, it shows me here, right? It shows me that there are 30 words, right? But then there are 7 lines. All right, that's what it actually means here. So having okay, the number of lines is this one, 4. All right, and then this one is the bytes. That is the bytes, how many bytes are there. No, not bytes, but the number of words that you're having in the file. And then the 30 is the number of bytes that you have in the file. Okay, so that's another very important command when it comes to the Linux kernel. Another important command we're gonna look at is a command called again, I'll enter back into my directory. We'll be working from this directory. So another important command is a command called top. Okay, so if I press enter, as you can see here, it brings up for me this menu here, and coming here you can see different things here. Like for instance, you can see here it says CPU %, it says here memory %, and then time or and